video now.
Oh, you are?
Because he's talking.
Okay. Yeah. I can hand it off to you. All right. All right. I think he's happy.
All right, attention on deck.
Whoop.
Get back. Let everybody get settled here. Okie doke. I was hoping Erica would be here for this, but
She said she was going to be coming back, but she had to take the guys back first.
About an hour ago.
Erica's.
all right, well, let me stall a little bit. First, a little bit of business. We have these Caritas per Musica pins. We have these Caritas per Musica pins that we're selling for $10 in the back of the room. If any of y'all want to buy them, should have sold them last year when we had 100 people here.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Thank you. So this year at the Marathon Jam, for the first time, we have a silent auction happening.
Oh.
I don't know if you're aware, but the gentleman from Balsam Range, whose name is Darren Nicholson from Balsam Range, did a really nice endorsement of Marathon Jam, and also donated a CD and a T-shirt. Which, is he signed those, or will they sign them, or what's the deal?
They will be. The album will be signed by all 5 members.
So that's on the silent auction. Minimum bid $50, I believe.
Yeah, it's last year's 2017's IBMA album of the year. Mountain Food Dog.
Oh.
And the T-shirt that goes with it.
All right. And I have as many of you know, my book is out of print, so I'm offering. We have just a few of those books left, so I'm offering one of my books. Please, folks. Please, folks. Please, folks.
Hey.
If you're gonna, Stephen, if you're gonna talk, please go outside. Please don't make me compete. Thank you.
He's trying to make some announcements.
Trying to do this so I don't go hoarse. We have a copy of my book, which is out of print, that I will inscribe to whoever buys it. We also have a copy of 823 CD. My band I play in, many of whom are here. A lot of the people in this circle also played on that CD. We will sign that CD as well. I will inscribe the book. The minimum bid on that is $100. So there's a silent auction for that. We have 2 initiatives happening that are new this year to Marathon Jam. One is, many of you know, our Robert Welch. Come on up here, Robert. We met Robert at the VA hospital in Durham last year. This is his second Marathon Jam. It was. We're proud of you, brother. It was really fun going to the rehab center and walking in there and saying, "Hey, I'm John Phantom with Marathon Jam." "Oh, okay. Yeah, we need to check Bob out." "Okay, cool. What time are you going to get him?" "About 11 o'clock. What time are you going to bring him back?" "Probably about 3. "Okay, so from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. No, 11 a.m. to 3 in the morning. They're in Greensboro.
Oh.
And the lady looked at me kind of funny, and I said, "Oh, it's okay. We're musicians. You can trust us."
And there'll be a Scott's giveaway at midnight.
and they did. And so he was here. He got his iron picker last year with us. Yes, indeed. And he's also a hospital volunteer and at the Durham VA and elsewhere. And why don't you take a moment and speak to what that feels like as a former resident?
Well, I was in the Durham VA wearing my cranberry red Kimberly Jung leisure suit 24/7. If any seen the pajamas that they got in there, rolled into the room where John and the guys were playing, and I was on the edge of the crowd in my wheelchair, and they kept playing, and before I knew it, I was up within about 3 or 4 feet of them, and I didn't quite know how I got drawn up there, but saw the guys playing and their hands working on the next to the instruments, and I had been kind of out of playing music for about a year and a half, dealing with some medical issues. Anyway, I'll give a shout out to Jess Cornett, who's the rec therapist there. John said, "Hey, you got a guitar for this guy?" And she magically produced a guitar from rec therapy. And so I had one in my hands and watched him play a little bit, listened a little bit more, and I said, "Hey,
Let me interrupt for just
go
1
ahead.
second, because he was in the back room, we were watching, I'm like, what? And I'm thinking, why am I pinging on this guy? What's gonna, and I'm watching his hands, it's like, he's making chords. And of course, I'm left-handed, so he's looking at me, he's like, that doesn't make no sense. So he's reading Greg's, and I'm like, and I was like, oh my God, he's a player. Well, I found out later, Greg and Keith, we were all thinking the same thing. So next thing I know, he's like 5 feet from us, and I keep saying to Jess, and you got to remember, he was rode hard to put up wet, and he looked pretty bad. And no offense, brother. And I kept saying, Jess, we got to get this guy a guitar. We got to get. And finally, really, got to get him a guitar. He brings the guitar, and what was so great, he didn't hold it like you're playing. He wrapped it up like he was holding his girlfriend that he'd been missing for 1.5 years, and he held that guitar for 3 or 4 songs. And you can let him go. He can come up here see me. It was so cool. And then he started strumming, and about 2 or 3 songs in, he kind of leaned forward and goes, "Boys, I don't mean to press my luck, but anybody got a pick I can borrow?" And we threw about 40 picks at him. And I'm proud to say he's still using that one I gave him today. Now you can pick it up from there. I'm sorry to interrupt. There it is.
Well, yeah, and they let me sing a couple songs with them, and then working through Eric and Jess, when they came back to the hospital 3 times, they let me out of the ward I was in to go play with them, and John gave me his card and said, "Be sure to call me when you get out." And I was thinking, do they really want me to call them? But I gave it a shot one day, and got invited to play with them and follow them to the WRAL session they did last year and be part of the Marathon Jam last year. John and the guys were kind of like Moses. They brought me out of Egypt in the darkness and into the light in the promised land. And that's that's not hyperbole. There's truth to that. And it's
Curitas for music.
it's an illustration of the motto, Curitas per musica. And
For once,
They've
it's
been
not my
playing,
dog.
have been playing with them ever since, and proud to be here today. And we've got a new initiative.
We've got a musical instrument initiative that we're starting off. When Bob left the VA, one of the chaplains gave him a real piece of crap mandolin. But it was a mandolin. And for somebody who didn't have a mandolin, having something to strum and play.
I think I sold it to Harry. Where's Harry?
No.
That was the guitar I sold to Harry.
And
That's true. It's a true story.
Yeah.
You remember me?
Back in the dark days, you sold,
Yep.
So he because of that, this is obviously a big deal. So he's kind of heading up this initiative. He and I. I'm pleased to say. Well, on the one hand, it's like there's a kind of a general acceptance. We have an electronic keyboard that's coming. I got a ukulele that's going to a firefighter's son. I'm proud to say. And then the guy walked in today and gave us a Taylor mandolin.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah, boy. And the firefighter, one of the chiefs. I don't know where the chief is, but one of the chief's buddies. She was so choked up because her son's little one just wants to play the guitar, and I said, "We're going to take care of that. We'll get you, And she's like, "You don't want to give him a guitar. He's a little kid. He's going to run. He's going to drop it. He's got steel strings. He's going to get cut. Get him a mandolin with nylon strings." And she thought that was a good idea. And I told her I'd bring it over. And she called me back about 10 minutes later. She says, "You're doing this thing for the VA, right? Instruments?" And I said, "Yes, ma'am." She goes, "My brother's getting a new keyboard. He was going to give me the old one. I'm going to give you my electronic keyboard." So we're going to get these instruments into the VA. Or Chief, if you've got any of your guys, for Dan around the fire station, for you around the police station, ladies and gentlemen, Chris Blue. Musicians, please do not head for the bathroom and start flushing. It's okay. Chris Blue, the chief of police for Chapel Hill. Usually when I introduce Keith, there's this mass exodus. People are like,
Everybody's gonna have to line up for the piss test here before.
And this here's a really, really good guy. He was on CHL with us, and he's going to come play at the VA. And he's a good man. So please say howdy. And I have another really, really fun thing. This is kind of a semi-long story. I know you're so surprised. Last year I saw this story about a woman who went to Harris Teeter, and they have these parking spaces at Harris Teeter that say reserved for veterans, right? She parked. She goes inside. She comes out. There's this horrible note on her car. Who do you think you are? Parking in this spot. I saw you, lady. Lot of nasty language. She put it up on Facebook with the caption, "Let me tell you who I am. I served twice in Afghanistan. I am a major in the Army. I'm, just, well, as I like to say with Marathon Jam, there's not many benefits. It's a whole lot of work, a whole lot of pain to be the founder of the Marathon Jam, except for when I'm rapping these guys. But the great part of it is, I can read something or see something and go, I want to meet that person. So I wrote to her. And she lives down in Charlotte, and I said, if you come up, we'd like to tell your story and balance the karmic wheel a little bit, but I need to warn you. When you leave, your car may be covered with notes of appreciation. Because I'd worked it out with the Bikers Against Child Abuse guys. When she came in, they were going to go out with about 50 American flags and Post-its, and we're going to plaster her car. Well, she's a doctor. Her patient was supposed to have her baby on Wednesday. Come Thursday, Rebecca's calling me up going, I don't know. Finally had it on Tuesday, but she didn't make it last year. So I had the pleasure of wrapping Rebecca Landis Hayes in the Carrabba's restaurant, which was pretty cool because the entire restaurant gave her a standing ovation. And my friend, who I've never met, who lives in San Diego, saw this story on Facebook and said, this is ridiculous. And she sent me 100. OT, can you please? You have something I can, yes.
Let me see.
Supposed to be my friend. Oh, we have large ones too. Sent me 100 of these in the mail. Said, give them to your iron pickers. Whenever they go to Harris Teeter or see somebody that's a veteran, slap it on their car. I get these, literally get them in the mail. I'm driving through Carborough. Up in front of me, Semper Fi. Where's Earl? Semper Fi on a, you're everywhere, Earl. Semper Fi on a bumper sticker. We come up to the stoplight. I hop out of the car. I run up, knock on the window. The lady looks at me, and she goes, yeah? And I slap it on her door, and she goes, and I run back to my car, and she goes straight, and I turn left. So part of our initiative is, and I'm really proud of this, the board voted, there's nothing on this that acknowledges Marathon Jam, because it's not about us. Please, we're going to pass these out to the players and the audience. I wish we had the 100 we had last year. But pass them out. Take 4 or 5. Take more if you think you can do it, because she's just recently sent me 200 more. She was really excited about it. And this one I've never